an AI-powered hyper-local community network for social collaborations, and the winner of the Government of India's Atmanirbhar App Challenge. This NASSCOM-incubated location platform connects people on the map for business, hobbies, or social causes. Naren Kumar, the co-founder and CEO, is here to tell us all about his award-winning network called I Am Here. Listen in.
AI-powered hyperlocal community network.
I Am Here provides location as a platform for people to connect on the map for business, hobby, and social causes.
Map-based discovery of hobbyists and professionals.
We don't have a unified platform for these hyperlocal interactions. And that is why we decided to create a hyperlocal community network for people to come together near them.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Naren Kumar of I Am Here app for excellence in social innovation.
Hello and welcome to NewsX A-List. Today I'm joined with Naren Kumar. He's the co-founder and CEO of I Am Here. A very warm welcome to NewsX, Naren.
Hey, Risha. Happy to be here and good to connect with the NewsX audience. Looking forward to the chat.
Absolutely. It's a very important, first and foremost question to you would be from my end is explain to our viewers what I Am Here is all about.
Sure. In simple words, I Am Here is a location-first social network. In complex words, it's an AI-powered hyperlocal community platform for social collaboration and social commerce. And what I mean by that is I could be a singer looking for musicians near me.
Okay.
I could be an art lover looking for artists around me. Right? Or I could be a business looking for customers near me. Or I could even be an NGO looking for volunteers near me. Right? And when I say near me, this could be in my neighborhood or this could be within communities like, let's say, a residential society, maybe my college alumni, maybe my colleagues at office. Right? So I Am Here provides location as a platform for people to connect on the map for business, hobby, and social causes.
You're calling it a hyper-local community network. That's what it's called. A reason behind starting something like this?
Okay, sure. Technology today does a great job of connecting us with people across the globe. For example, you and I are talking today because of technology, and our viewers will be seeing from different corners of the globe because of technology. But the irony is that technology today falls short of connecting us with people near us, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Right? But ironically, that's where we spend 70% of our lives.
Yes.
Right. So, for example, 2 out of 3 smartphone users look for local info every week. 1 out of 4 look for local info every day.
All right.
We don't have a unified platform for these hyperlocal interactions. And that is why we decided to create a hyperlocal community network for people to come together near them.
Can you help me understand for our viewers in a layman's language, people who do not understand, is this radius centric or this is, it is not just community centric. It can be anywhere and everywhere kind of thing for networking.
Yes. You could imagine something like a Google Maps.
Yes.
Right. So let's say I'm in Bangalore. I can look for places in Bangalore. I could probably zoom out and look for things in Mumbai.
Okay.
Right. So I Am Here has both open and closed community. The neighborhood is an open community versus your residential society or college community or closed communities. So I Am Here provides both parallelly.
So if a person gets onto I Am Here and for example, I'm wanting to, want a new architect. So I can search for that. Is there a search engine for directly architects in your radius? How do you filter your choices?
Okay, sure. So let's say you're looking for an architect or a designer.
Yes.
Either go to the map.
Okay.
I'll just give an analogy, right? Google Maps has places. Our maps has people.
Okay.
Right? Facebook has the feed of your friends. I Am Here has the feed within your community, within your neighborhood.
All right. Excellent.
So I could go to the map and search for architects and it will show the top architects near me.
Okay.
The same applies to guitarists, singers, travelers,
yes,
photographers, etc. Or I could go to the wall and post, hey, I'm looking for an architect. Is there somebody near me?
Oh, excellent. So it's great. It's a great way to communicate and a great way to even work nowadays. So now, as you mentioned, we all are online and this is the best way to find work. Very interestingly, your company has been working with the governments of the country, also state governments. You are doing an ongoing project with Karnataka government and you've done work with the Maharashtra government. Can you put some light on your work?
Sure. Well, when we started with the vision of creating this hyperlocal community network, we also wanted to bring these small businesses onto mainstream search.
Okay.
And the initiative that we kicked off with the Maharashtra government in the past was where we wanted to aggregate artists and craftsmen onto the I Am Here app. Today, they are selling, for example, Ganesha idols for the Ganesh Chaturthi.
Oh, great.
With the Karnataka government, we are trying to aggregate farmers and traditional businesses onto the I Am Here app, trying to give them hyperlocal neighborhood marketplaces. For example, if you go to Mysore, you would exactly know the Mysore silk vendors on the I Am Here app. Right? If you go to Coorg, you will find the coffee vendors, or Channapatna, you will find the Channapatna toys. Right? So because we are a location-first network.
Yes, which is very good. I want to understand one thing. So at this point in time, how many users do you have on board?
Okay, we have crossed more than 200,000 users, 2 lakh users. And in terms of reception that I'm Here has been having in the market has been pretty great. It's very encouraging. We're in fact in the top 10 social apps in the country. We recently won the Government of India's Atmanirbhar App Challenge under a special category called Community Collaboration. Right, and we are 4.6, 4.7 on Play Store. There are people forming music bands, dance troupes, sports gangs, travel gangs, etc. on the I Am Here app. There are small businesses hiring sales executives, front office people on the app. There are
I Am Here community also now. Is it Instagram and Facebook have more influencers, but yours seems more of a community kind of aspect. Does it have a community of its own, or you're looking at it as growing?
Yeah, so there is the 200K users are part of the I Am Here community.
Yes.
And inside the I Am Here community, you have different circles. So there's a photography circle, there's a travel circle, there's a business circle, there's an art circle, sports circle, right? People can come together within those circles and start collaborating.
It's excellent because usually we are so used to those basic social media apps that people tend to forget that there are different and better ways to, communicate and as well as get work also. So that is interesting. You have a very interesting background of research and development. You've come from the best B schools of India and you decided to have a startup of your own. Reason behind that?
Sure. Actually, it's a funny story that dates back to probably 5-6 years back. Post my ISB MBA,
yes.
I spent 5 years in Mumbai before returning to Bangalore. And when I was in Bangalore before that, I used to be part of a band. I'm a guitarist, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And when I first went to Mumbai, I was struggling to find musicians near me to jam over the weekends. Right? Or are there people I can play cricket with? Are there book lovers near me, bloggers near me, people I can go to the gym with? Then I was like, hey, is there somebody from a college network around, somebody from BIT, somebody from ISB? I just couldn't find any of them. And you won't believe me, after 3 long years when I was vacating one of the apartments there in Mumbai, on the last day when I was locking the door, I discovered that my neighbor was also from my college.
Oh.
Right? And we have chatted before, we had smiled at each other, but we never got into the depth of, hey, where did you study? Where are you from? Etc. And that is when I sat back and saw a real problem to solve. And I had a tech background and a business knowledge. So we thought, okay, let's solve this through technology.
That's excellent because that's what we need. We need our own tech brains in our country. And that's what my next question to you is about Atmanirbhar Bharat. You consider that the tech industry is, and the sector is going to, get a boom after the Atmanirbhar campaign that our Prime Minister has started. Do you consider that?
Yes, definitely. And I think it has already started. Right? We are seeing some of the Indian apps getting millions of downloads by the hour.
Yes.
Right? And I'm here plays in that league. Right now, what started as a small announcement from our Honorable PM is now almost a movement. Right? What started as a social media trend of Chinese, boycott Chinese apps is today a reality. Right? And of course, we still look up to apps outside with a little bit more respect, but I think the scenario is changing. And if the government continues to give the push it's giving right now, and if the business are continuing to support, I think it's only going upwards from here.
Why do you think, what does our tech sector lack in India? I was talking to somebody else and they had a very interesting aspect to say that investment, yet we don't see that kind of investment happening in our tech sector. We have the brains, we have all of it. Earlier, there used to be a complaint about infrastructure. Right now, it seems the complaint is more about investment. Do you agree to that?
Yes, so there is still a popular joke that goes around that had Google or Facebook started in India, they would have died. Right? But that was the situation, I would say, 10, 15 years back. Right? Today, even as of day before yesterday, somebody has invested in a space startup. So that situation is changing. Investors are willing to take the risk. Of course, we still have to do a little bit of catch up compared to the Silicon Valley startups, but that's more a market dynamic here, right? I mean, they have that ecosystem, they have that acquisition engine, they have the exit options. Right now, we have just started, right? What Silicon Valley was maybe 20, 25 years back, we are there today, right? And in the next 5 to 10 years, I think we should be in the top 10. I think we are already in the top 10. I think we should be in the top 3 ecosystems across the world.
I'm sure we can be there when we have people like you and entrepreneurs like yourself. So from your end, what is a piece of advice to all the people out there who believe in a self-reliant India and want to go ahead and not just be a part of the tech world, but be a part of any other sector and make India proud?
Okay, so yes, it's easy to say follow your dream, yes, but then that journey is definitely painful and lonely, right? But then it is, if you ask me, would I have not started up if I have to live my life again? I'll probably say no. Because my advice is to wannabe founders is, even if your startup fails, the next assignment or the next project or the next job that you would be landing, you would still be able to visualize and execute it much better. And we have the ecosystem now developed where corporates and other startups, mature startups, will value that experience of yours. Right? So yes, it will be painful, but it is still better if you have a dream, if you see a problem, and if you want to make a difference to the society, just go ahead and start it. Universe will conspire. Right? I think more like, for example, I was fortunate enough to be part of a new business at both Cisco and Schneider Electric. We started some new businesses from scratch, and I was fortunate to be part of it. I was part of the founding team at an IoT startup called Intelf, which today is clocking more than $1 million revenues. Right now, if I just connect back and see, maybe I would just go back to what Steve Jobs said: you can only live forward and connect the dots backwards. Right?
Thank you, Naren. Thank you so much. It is really, really great to hear from you and from people like yourself who are so successful. And there are a lot of things that people can gauge from here, that even if you fail, it's all right. You can go back, and whatever you try next will succeed. Thank you so much for speaking to NewsX.
Hey, thanks, Richa. Thanks.